Alright, welcome back to another video, and today we're gonna do a tier list for the new limited cards that just showed up, or just just got added to the game. Like I think it was like on last Friday, and yeah, honestly, before I even started tier list, all the cards are really insane. I've tested them out in some of the fights, and they're just really good. Like honestly, you could even beat the, you can even use them in Battle Tower to do like Android Tower. Like I was able to complete at least one floor of it. But that was because I was using Cosmic Villain, and Cosmic Villain gives you damage and stuff, and then I would use like some other cards, and they're pretty insane together, I can't lie. These cards right here, like all of these cards, they're really insane, bro. I can't lie. They're all really insane. Alright, so the first card is Lone Sword, which is, I mean, he's just amazing, bro. I can't even lie, bro. We're gonna read his passive. If this card is burned, cancel the effect and add the burn damage to this card's burns. If paired with Ice Queen upon HP falling below 25%, fuse into Iced Lone Sword and restore all HP. On the first fatal hit from each enemy, as well as 60% damage and gain 2 counter attacks, dealing 65% damage plus 50% of absorbed damage. Counters apply a 1-turn burn to this card, and counters apply a 1-turn burn to this card and the active enemy, dealing 65% damage, which is pretty good. I like this card, but overall, I think he's a good card, and honestly, I think he's kind of the weakest off base, just base. Not gonna lie, I think he's kind of the weakest off base. So I'll put him in like I think I put him in A tier. I think I will put him in A tier because like the thing is, right, if the card is burned, this is only if the card is burned, right? Like this is another like limitation to his passive. If the enemies have burned, he can do more, right? Which I don't really like having limitations on the character. It makes the character a little bit worse if he's only against specific enemies. Good in his passive, or even better in his passive. I do like the on the first hit from each enemy absorb 60% of damage and gain 200 counter attacks, so you can get even stronger. Like if you're against enemies that have like a million damage, just gain 60% of it, and then you can even use them in gold for it, which is really good. Which is why I still put him in high A tier. So this is still good. I put him in high A tier, which is still really good. All right, he's still really good. Which is I'll keep it like that. It's still really good on high A tier. Alright, then we got the next card, which is Ice Queen. On entry, summon 3 Ice Clones at 65% base stats. If this card becomes frozen, cancel the effect and deal 75% damage. Every other turn, cast Arsewise, dealing 95% damage for a 35% chance to freeze active enemy for 1 turn. Each turn, gain a stack. At 4 stacks, cast Fruzzle Cardania, dealing 75% damage to 3 enemies and freezing all living cards for 1 turn. Really good. I like this a lot. I like the summons. The summons seem pretty good. I think I can't check what the summons are. I can't really check it. I have to go into the battle to check it. Well, as I said, like these guys, since they fuse, bro, like I won't be able to see the entire thing, but I think I can probably take a screenshot of when they do it. There you go. Now they have Ice Lone Sword. All right, as you can see on my screen, I got the Ice Lone, the fusion card I made. I was able to take a picture of it. You can't see the art because I'm using the skin. They need to fix that. But all we want is like really see the passive. If this card becomes frozen, cancel the effect and gain 20% damage after 2 counters, doing 95% damage to the first 2 enemies and freeze all living cards. Really good. This is they basically combined the 2 passes together and made it even better, the card. Upon the first hit from each enemy, absorb 75% damage this time and gain 2 counter attacks, dealing 65% damage plus 50% of absorbed damage. Counters apply a 1-turn freeze to this card and the active enemy, which is really good. And I think they also combined the stats. I'm not sure though, but either way, that's still really good. And honestly, these two cards seem like they're really good. They seem really good. I'm gonna put this realistically, since I'm not gonna glaze too hard. They could lack in some situations. So which is also why I'm gonna put them in A tier. But the fuse card version of them, I think this is the fusion one. If you're wondering, this is the fusion one of them. They're in S tier because they basically combine their both passes, which makes them insane. Plus with her summons also she's still gonna be active. So I'll put them like high A tier and put them in S tier. Alright, now we got Twin Knight Demon, I think that's his name. On battle start, summon left demon and right demon on 90% base stats, while both are alive, become immune to off-field damage, which is really good. Which is really good. I like that a lot, immune to off-field damage, because but there's always some enemy in the battle tower or whatever that always has some off-field shenanigans they can do to you, which is really good. While alive, each turn target the last living enemy for 50% damage with a 75% chance to apply 30% poison damage for 1 turn. While active, gain a 30% dodge chance. Each turn this card takes no damage, gain a stack, and 2 stacks dodge the next attack. This card is amazing if you just use him in the back and you have a strong tank in the front. So this card is useful even when he's active on battle start. and he's also useful when he's also not active and he's just alive and he does damage, which I think not a lot of cards do that, right? If they're alive, they really don't really do damage. Like something has to happen, but this guy alive, he targets the last living enemy. So honestly, just for that and for my experience personally, I think this guy is at least S tier just because of his passive. I like the passive a lot. And honestly, I favor, it is in my opinion, so I do favor cards that can do something else, like that do something really special, like this card that he still targets someone, like he still tries doing damage to someone while he's alive. So for me, that seems more worth it. If you have a strong card, then you won't be able to get to use a lot of the characters in the back if you really have one. But with him, he just does damage to the last living enemy and applies a poison. So that's why I put him in an S tier. Then we have the Twin Knight team. I forgot her name. Wait. While off field, reduce off field ally damage taken by 40%, which is amazing. Already off bat, that's amazing. Good, that's a good support right there. Amazing support. Gaining all reduced damage upon entry for 6 turns. Basic attacks target all living enemy summons. When an enemy attempts to boost their stats above 200% of their base, cancel the effect. Also amazing support. Also amazing as basically a defense force captain. And deal 250% damage. If paired with Twin Day Demon, upon HP falling before 25%, fuse into Twin Demons and restore all HP. Twin Demons, right? If right demon and left demon are alive, boost their stats by 35%. Every other turn, block and counter attack, incoming attacks, dealing 65% damage, targeting the active enemy and all living enemy summons. When an enemy attempts to boost their stats about 200% of the base, cancel the effect and do 250% damage. I do think the cards become a little worse because I do think the two cards are more just like a support type of cards and also do damage, because when they fuse, I think you lose like kind of a lot on stuff. No, you lose the off field damage, or while alive each turn target the last living enemy. So it is good, the fusion, but I rather would prefer them not fusing and just keep it just keep them in the back. So technically what my team was before, if I have it here, yeah, it was like this: Lone Sword, Ice Queen, and then have them two in the back, because these guys are really good. I think they're really good and will be used a lot in the future, even in gold, because then you can use these two, or maybe like a quad in the front, maybe by Loki or something in the front, and then these two would be really, really useful. So overall, I think purely them for being effective, these two are really good. They're S tier. These ones can be switched up to S tier. Like before you guys go at me because they're an A tier, this still means they're really good, high A tier. But when it comes to effectiveness, when it comes to them being used in everything, these two are gonna work better because they have abilities that most other cards don't, and they can be used as supports for other if you have like your strongest character, like for example I have my Loki, and these two would be really, really insane to use for support. I would rather use them over Undead King, other support cards like Secret Arc Priestess. I would rather use them because these two support cards are definitely gonna be in the meta, at least top 3 meta support, because they do insane stuff. And honestly, I do like it though. I think this is a good tier list because these two are like, they're good, but then their fusion becomes really, really good. And in my opinion, these fusion becomes like an A tier because they do lose out on stuff. They do lose out, as I said, on the off field, the every other turn target the last living enemy. They do lose on a lot of stuff that are really, really useful. And I mean, they're kind of just like a last resort. Like, they're kind of just like oh, they can do something extra when they die, for example, even though they're just, in my opinion, they feel like support cards for other characters. So which is still really good. That's why I put them in A tier, because they do lose out on a lot of stuff. That doesn't make them bad, but they're still really good. But yeah, I think that is my tier list, and honestly, I'm kind of happy with it. I like all these cards. They're all good in their own right. They're all really amazing. I've used them. I literally, as I said, I used them in gold. Mind you, I do have one above all trade, but I did use them in gold. For example, in Battle Tower, I beat like an Android tower with it. I was using them. I beat them. I think I even beat a Tremor tower. I can't lie. Yeah, it was like this, for example. I had Cosmic Villain I'd Secret Cosmic Villain, and then have like I had King of Helheim, or I had Secret Loki. Something to boost their stats. It's kind of the wrong team. It should be like I was using like this. I was testing them out basically, but they're both really good. You can use these as like an attack. You can use this, to be honest, to maybe for example in Battle Tower. This Cosmic Villain has to proc. If you're in the higher floors, use Binding Light instead. So because in higher floors, people just like, they can just do like 2 million damage on your Cosmic Villain. You don't need Binding Veil then. But yeah, these cards, all the cards are insane in this update. I like all these cards. I'm really happy with all of them. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. A lot of yap. But hey, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.